Hello guys, just wanted to do a video for you guys. It's been a while, and since then I've actually got a tripod, and as you can see behind me I've got a whole new setup. Not the same dull room that you normally see in my videos. I'm actually doing this one in my basement, in my man cave. I think this is where I'm going to do it. Hopefully this backdrop, and I can get this glare from the window behind Darth Vader's or in Darth Vader's little picture to go away. But for right now, I just decided to do a video on my Marvel comics, or more specific, graphic novels. Just decided to do those and show you which ones I have, and hopefully you'll enjoy. So let's get to it. The first one I have is the Warlock series by Jim Starlin. Actually, a buddy of mine gave me this because he knew I was a huge fan of Warlock and how excited I got at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2. This is pretty much an omnibus of his first set of comics. This is a complete collection. So it is just full of all of his old comics, and I am really looking forward to read this. I haven't read this one yet, but I will get to it. I'm a little bit behind reading. I just got done reading Ready Player One. So, but let's move on. The next one I have is the Infinity Gauntlet Aftermath. Now, with the Infinity War coming out next year, I am really looking forward to catching up on the reading, see how it compares to the movie. The Infinity Gauntlet Aftermath is when Adam Warlock actually receives the Infinity Gauntlet after they beat Thanos, and it's just them trying to get Adam Warlock to give it up. But again, I haven't read this one. Like I said, I'm behind on my reading. So, but I am looking forward to this one, and hopefully I can get it done before the end of next year when the movie comes out. So, I have that one. Then I have this one, the Infinity War Coming. Now, Incoming, Infinity Incoming it's called, and it pretty much talks about Thanos and his younger years and just the things that leads up to the beginning of the Infinity Wars. Funny enough, I have the beginning, I have the sequel, I have the prequel, I have the sequel. I don't have the actual Infinity Wars. It's another one I have to get. Just to see, read it and be able to tell, and then be able to read it in order. So hopefully that'll work out. So again, haven't read that one. Really looking forward to it. Here's one I actually have read. Luke Cage. It's actually a pretty good book. It actually talks about how he comes out of jail and how gangsters have started running the town, and his girlfriend, she got killed somehow. He has to find out how. There are some good characters like Tombstone. I know Cottonmouth is in here. I think Diamondback's in here as well, so it has a little to do with some of the stuff that goes around in Netflix, but it doesn't go in the same universe. So, but it is still a pretty good book. It definitely has kind of a 50s style. I'll just show you some of the artwork here. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, it actually does pretty good. And it just talks about how once he gets out of prison, what he goes through and how he does it. So another good one. I really like that. And let's continue. I also have Moon Knight, Midnight Sun. Now, I don't know too much about Moon Knight. This is the first book I've ever bought of his, except for maybe one single issue. And I read that, and in truth, I don't know. I thought it was interesting, but I didn't. I know he was in the, I'm trying to think, the Shadow Land series, and that's where I actually kind of got introduced to him. I really like this character. his stories can be a little boring. That's just my personal opinion, so don't jump down my throat about it. But I think it was a pretty good, it'll be a pretty good story, and it's got some amazing art, as you can see. Let's find another, so I'm definitely looking forward to reading this one. I haven't read this one. There are a few that I have read in here. I thought they were really good. But this is unfortunately not one I've read, and it does have Captain America on the cover, so hopefully he plays some part in this. I know there's another one with in this series that has Frank Castle on the cover, or Punisher, and definitely looking forward to that because I like Punisher. So got another one here, Avengers Defenders War. Now this just goes into some of the old comics. As you can see right there, definitely old style, and pretty much what I've read so far, I haven't read too much about it, but I have read that this starts off as Loki and Dormammu actually pitting the Avengers against the Defenders to release Dormammu and to help Loki somehow. I haven't read it fully, so I don't exactly know how this ends, but I know the Defenders have always been one of my favorite teams, especially the one with like Namor, the Incredible Hulk, and Doctor Strange. I know Gargoyle, Valkyrie, and quite a few other characters, including Beast, Silver Surfer, and a few other times they have been introduced into the Defender series, and I really like the Defenders, both old and new. So definitely looking forward to finishing this one, see how it goes. So the next one I have, and I don't know too much about this, but it's called The List. And what it is, from what I've read on the cover or on the back, is that Norman Osborn has a file and a list of characters that he wants to take out. And this is right after the Dark Reign, right after Civil War, and Norman Osborn becomes head of S.H.I.E.L.D. and takes over the Iron Man armor and becomes Iron Patriot. This is him and his group taking on all the enemies that he feels is a danger to his reign as the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. and to the world. So one of the things I really liked about this, and definitely one of the things that caught my eye, was the fact that it was Wolverine, Daredevil, Scar, Hulk's son, and Punisher. I'm not a big fan of Spider-Man, but with that kind, and just a mention of like X-Men, the New Warriors, all that stuff, or the Secret Warriors, all these characters, X-Men, Daredevil, Secret Warriors, Hulk, Punisher, Wolverine, Amazing Spider-Man, and just everybody else that he goes after in this book. I thought it was a good pickup, and for I think it was only like $4 or $5. It was actually worth it for me. So definitely another one I'm looking forward to read, The List. Hopefully you guys can find it. Hopefully you guys can read it. So another one I have, which I've actually read, is Ghost Rider, Wolverine, and Punisher. I'll do this. Has a beautiful cover that opens up, and pretty much what this is that oh man, I'm trying to think of his name. Manifesto's son, Blackheart. Manifesto's son, Blackheart, takes over this little town and uses its inhabitants as his slaves. Wolverine, Punisher, and Ghost Rider all come in for different reasons, but later on they have to join forces and try to take out Blackheart and just save the town. and I thought it was a really good book. Uh, they're three of my favorite characters. Blackheart, I really like being Manifesto's son. I really enjoy that. So I'm really glad that they came together and did this one. It's called Hearts of Darkness. So I definitely pick it up. I know I picked this up on Amazon for like $5 or $6. So you should be able to enjoy that. Then you have Punisher in the Blood. Now this one I really liked. It actually brought Jigsaw back, and what happens is Jigsaw's son actually gets sick of what his father's doing and decides to help the Punisher. Well, in this case, the Punisher is being hunted by Norman Osborn and his group, especially Wolverine's son, and he... No, I'm getting two mixed together. I am sorry. This is the one where, his Jigsaw's son helps him out, helps him defeat, and he finds out that Jigsaw is back, so he ends up kicking out the kid, and his father kind of takes him behind, takes him underneath his wing. The kid doesn't want any of it, and eventually the kid and Punisher have to go and defeat his dad and his partner to pretty much save the day. It's very intense book. It's a very enjoyable book. It does go into Punisher's little sidekicks, the people who help him. One other does show up. I forget his name, but he does show up, and Punisher has to deal with the fact that his sidekicks are a little hard to use, so but are hard to live with. It does have a nice ending. I thought it was a really good book. So again, Punisher in the Blood. Go ahead and pick that one up. It's definitely worth reading. Now here's the one I got mistaken with, and as you can see, I'm not done reading it, but it's Punisher Frankencastle. Yep, this is the one where Punisher gets turned into Frankenstein. Now this is the one where Norman Osborn, using Wolverine's son, comes after him and actually ends up killing Punisher. Well, Punisher later on is brought back by Morbius, by Man-Thing, and by a werewolf, and he is made into a monster. He has to take these pills to keep his sanity, to keep his understanding. And what is happening is there's this group of ninjas, samurais, however you want to call it, who are killing the monsters. And they want a champion to help them to defeat these samurai and these ninjas. And they decide, because Castle's already dead, he's been chopped up by Wolverine's son. They bring him back to life, and hopefully he's his champion. He seems reluctant until a kid who he meets in the sewers, a Morlock kid, ends up getting killed by these samurais, and then he comes out, and hopefully he ends up kicking butt, because, like I said, I haven't finished it yet. I'm not even really halfway through it, so that's just what's happened so far. I am looking forward to finishing this book. It was one that I definitely wanted for a long time. I picked this one up for $7 as well. The ones I'm getting really cheaply, there's a bookstore here called Half Price Bookstore, and that's where I go and get these graphic novels. So definitely good. Frankencastle. Alright, so here's a few more that I've fully read. You have Shadowland. So Shadowland is a story of Matt Murdock, how he gets taken over by the Hands demon, and he actually builds this tower and puts this perimeter around it, and he goes and kills everything. One of the more classic scenes, let's see if I can find it here, Yeah, one of the most classic scenes is, it's not in this one, where he kills Bullseye. He sticks two sides through Bullseye and just kills him. So that's kind of what sets everybody off edge. This one right here is where all the heroes, you can see Spider-Man, you can see Tiger Lily, you see Moon Knight, Elektra, you know, Luke Cage, Iron Fist. They're all going to, they're all going and trying to save Matt Murdock from himself, kind of check him. And I know Ghost Rider's in here because you can see the back cover. Really beautiful back cover of just Daredevil and Ghost Rider going at it. Unfortunately, the fight is actually short with Daredevil. Or Daredevil and Ghost Rider. And I'm sorry, I got the hiccups for some reason. So it is actually kind of a short fight. I won't spoil who wins, but it is definitely worth reading. And of course, you have the Kingpin in the background just glaring. Again, a really good one. I also have this one, Daredevil Shadowlands, and this one, Blood in the Street. And that Blood in the Street has Misty Knight, Solo, Silver Sable, and Cloak, and it kind of shows the side story. Also has Foggy Nelson and the female, I can't remember her name. She's in the Defender series and the Daredevil series. Crap, I can't remember her name. So anyway, these are just 3 books that I have. All the same series. I don't know if there's one more or not, but it tells just a good series, good story, and definitely worth the reading. It does kind of have a bit of a sad ending, especially if you're a Daredevil fan, but definitely worth reading because it is his main story. This would, if he had any really good story that I love to see shown on TV or movies, this would be it. So, again, Shadowlands. I have another one here where it is Hulk, World War Hulks. Now this actually talks about the different Hulks that there are and just how each of them seems to be fighting against another. It's another one I've read. I really liked it. It goes through the story of Thunderbolt Ross, how he became the Red Incredible Hulk. Spoiler there. Also shows the Green She-Hulk. Shows Scar. It shows the Red She-Hulk, which we know as Betty Ross, and it just really goes into a good story. Definitely enjoyed that. So if you like the Incredible Hulk, go for that one. So now just a few of the She-Hulks I have. This is the all-new Savage She-Hulk. This is the daughter between Hulk and Thundera. I really like this series. I thought it was a good one. I've read this one. The story was a little bit off. It definitely comes from like a different universe, but it explains what that one is. I've seen the Marvel Legends figure, and I never knew her story, so when I saw this, I picked this up. This is another really cheap one. I think this one was only like $2. At a comic book convention. So, really like this one. Go ahead and read that if you want to. And of course, you have, Here Today, She-Hulk. Now, this one actually talks about her trying to be a superhero. It also goes into the Skrull Wars, her relationship with Hercules, and just quite a few others. I thought it was a pretty good story. It talks about her being a lawyer too. So here today, She-Hulk. Like that one. This is another one I haven't really read, but it's called She-Hulk Hunt for the Intelligenaka. Hopefully this doesn't come out all backwards. I don't know if it would, but so far it teams up a. Oh, okay. So it has to do with the new She-Hulk. I actually just read some of the back. So yeah, it has something to do with the new She-Hulk. It has Claw, Mad Thinker, Red Ghost, Temptress, and Wizard try to take over the world. Now they must pay for what they've done. Guest star in the Incredible Hulk and the all-new She-Hulk. So definitely a good one. Hunt for the Intergalactica. I really shouldn't have tried, but I did. I also have an extra large one called the Sensational She-Hulk. A little bigger one. This is one by John Bryan. A little bit of the older style, but still like it. Just some beautiful stories and beautiful artwork. I think that's actually pretty good. For what it used to be, it's not bad. So these are just some of the old ones, and the covers, even though it's very simple, it's absolutely gorgeous. So I really like that. This is back when she was breaking the third wall. I actually believe before Deadpool. So yeah, she was breaking the third wall before Deadpool. So those are my Marvel collection. I do have DC and Indie to go through, but I'll make that in another video. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more videos of Marvel and the DC, or the DC and the Indie, let me know. I really hope you do. I do apologize if I'm not as all knowledgeable as I should be. And also let me know if you guys like this backdrop, because I can actually change it. I've got a few different avenues I can do it, and hopefully you enjoyed the new tripod, because it's no longer shaky cam. So and maybe I can get some more light in here with some lights maybe over to the side or something. So again, if you like this thing, like it. If you want to subscribe, and I guess I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.